Welcome to the Don't Count Me Out podcast. This program is dedicated to stroke survivors, loved ones and caregivers, medical professionals, and anyone interested in learning more about this devastating disease and the warriors that face it every day. Our mission is to share stroke survivors' stories of inspiration and hope, form friendships and community, gain knowledge and insights, and the courage to dream and explore new avenues as we find our way back to living. So, my friends, the Don't Count Me Out podcast begins right now. Bob, this is your show. Just going to sit here and see what I can do to keep us running.
Okay, well, it's great to have you back, Barbara. That was quite a challenge that you gave me. I remember that you had offered for me to pick any challenge that I wanted. Macrame and diamond painting. I was really hoping I could get the challenge of eating that barbecue chicken that you showed that was on the grill, but couldn't do that. So I chose diamond painting. So I got my first one and it was huge. I had no idea what I was doing. They all came in numbers. They would tell me to take diamond painting, diamond number 1, and fumble through the 30 different packages of diamonds. Okay, where's number 1? And so on and so forth, all the way through. But the second time, after I completed the first one with, a couple of phone calls to you for help, then I started watching a couple of YouTube videos and I picked up a couple of more hints. A second diamond painting came. I made sure this time it was much smaller.
That would help.
The first one took me a good month.
It's okay.
Yeah. And the second one took probably a couple of weeks, but the second one was much quicker and easier to do because I decided I've got to get myself organized. I've got to put number 1 diamond here, 2 package number 2 here, 3 here, all the way around my entire table. I could just simply take the package that I needed, open it up, dump it in a little tray, like you showed us on the first one, and then just take that little pen stick it in the glue, and then just go about doing those diamonds. That really helped. What have you done since we last met?
Well, since we last met, I've been kind of like dabbling in a few things. Diamond painting wise, I had been working on large projects and donate them to like nursing homes and things like that. But I found that I wasn't losing the joy of diamond painting because I was doing so much of that, but I needed to pull back because diamond painting is something that I want to stay in my life, and it's something I want to stay enjoyable. Not only does it help me emotionally, my eye, hand coordination, but it helps keep those creative blocks open for other things. Because I found that if I'm doing a diamond painting, even if I'm just doing 10 minutes a morning, it keeps my creative juices going so that I can concentrate on learning something else. So I kind of pull back from the big projects, not saying that I won't do more, but for over the past few months, I just kind of pulled back because I wanted to concentrate on other things.
That's kind of what I did. I started out with acrylic painting, 2 artists that gave us a 2-hour lesson at a stroke support group. And I loved acrylic painting, but then I saw your diamond paintings on Facebook. I said, geez, I got to try that. I kind of expanded my creativity as well. I don't know what I'm going to do next after diamond painting.
It'll come.
I'm definitely going to stay with acrylic painting. I've got another diamond painting on order. It's on one of the shipping containers. I'll probably. It generally takes a couple months or so. Help a little bit with my dexterity. I haven't got the feeling back in my fingertips like I'd like. Once I was finished, just the sense of accomplishment
and you build a memory muscle whether you realize it or not. Even though you don't have the feeling in the tips of your fingers, it's still the memory muscle of the repetition and concentration.
I have the ability to squeeze and hold the pen, so that's good. And when I went to put the diamond in the slot that it's supposed to go in, I'm a little bit shaky. So it's kind of like the old game of dropping a clothespin in the milk carton or the milk crate. You try and line it up. And then once I'm right over top of it, then I can press down and move on.
The more you do it, the more you get comfortable doing it certain ways. You still can have the same result at the end. This could be beautiful, no matter how you get there. It's just you got to start to get there, though.
And the other thing about diamond painting or ordering them online is there are websites where you can send a photo in.
Yes.
They will do a diamond painting layout for you with all the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna try that. My wife Sharon wants a photo or a painting of our little doggy. So
yeah, those are really nice. I've seen a few people offer them as services to companies for new brides when they have the portraits of the bride and the groom.
Oh, yeah.
And they send a copy of that away to the company and have them pixelated, the picture, send it back, and then somebody diamond paint it for them. It's a nice gift and an unusual gift. There's another diamond painter, a local Facebook group. She does it of all her grandkids and people that she knows.
That's a great idea.
But you have to remember, if you're doing more people, the more people that's in a picture, you have to order a larger size diamond painting because it'll lose the detail. Yeah,
that's a good point. The smaller the diamond painting, the less detail there is. I've seen your large ones.
I do a 30 by 40 because I do mostly faces, less than that for a person. Anything with a face, I wouldn't go less than a 30 by 40. Some close-ups, if the picture is a close-up of the person or the animal and you got detailed close-up, sure, if you want to get a smaller one, get a smaller one.
Refresh our memory, Barbara. How long ago was it when you had your stroke?
I had my stroke August 2014, so that's about 7 years.
Had you dabbled in art at all before your stroke?
I was always interested, but not really dabbled in enough to concentrate on it. Like I do something here and there and like, I don't like that. But what I did mostly was photography before. And I did a little upcycle works pieces. Like if you got an old candy dish, say an old candle holder, put it together.
I remember those.
Together.
I remember seeing those before. Yeah.
Yes, but the detail work, like the acrylic work and things like that, I guess I never had the time to stop and just concentrate on trying to do that. So all that came post-stroke.
So I love the way you went at the very beginning, learning your craft prior to your stroke, wanting to get into a little bit of art. But
I always have, but I just never had the talents to.
But then once you got into it, you've increased and expanded your options, capabilities by taking it to another step, which I think is great. I think that's great for stroke recovery.
It is very much. When you start something like diamond painting, that gets you going and that increases your abilities as well as increase your confidence that you can accomplish something. Because whether it's stroke, other brain injuries, or just somebody being sick, shut in, especially during the times of COVID.
Yeah, someone that's confined to a wheelchair are staying in their houses and
feel isolated.
This would be something I think they would love to do. What a great hobby that is.
And feeling isolation have so much negative connotations. When you're isolated, you tend to want to sit there and watch TV. That's not doing anything for your brain. That's breaking it down. It becomes mush, just sitting there staring at the tube all day. So why not do something that will help stimulate you? You get your brain stimulated in that area.
Brain games.
Yes, brain games, puzzles, whatever. Then it will stimulate you to do other things. The isolation don't become so overcoming.
I had another question. Zip lining. I'm glad you didn't challenge me on that, but I've got to try that someday.
I had always wanted to do it, but was always too chicken. And after the stroke, we were on vacation. I said, you know what? I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Best experience I had.
Right?
I would like to do a bigger one.
Yeah.
It just had the opportunity hasn't presented itself to yet. It's just the freeness of being up there and zipping over a lake or something. I wouldn't say I recommend it for everybody, but if it's something that you really would like to do, at least try it once.
Yeah.
Why not do it once?
Yeah, I've got that on my bucket list. Someday I'm going to do it. I might just string it up on one of my trees here in the backyard and just zip line across the yard.
Yeah, I don't know about that one though. Make sure you get help with the install.
Yeah, I love the way that you haven't let a tragic situation in your life stop you from living your life. In fact, inspiring, you're motivating, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you. You spend so much time working and you don't really get to do things you really want to do.
Yeah.
So I took this opportunity to say, now, why not now? But like I said, diamond painting is detail oriented. It helps your imagination. Like say, for instance, if I'm working with a face and I don't like the shape of the face that it was printed with, you can look back from it, stand back and look at it. What's going to stop you from changing, some tweaks and maybe make the eyes bigger, make the lips smaller?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Or make the jawlines slimmer. You can do that. It's your creation.
Well, I've got to tell you what happened to me on the first diamond painting that I did. I'm going through all my packets and I lost control of one of the packets and spilled all over the floor. And I'm looking what number that is. And I look at the piece itself and I'm thinking, oh no, I was able to recover quite a few of them, but I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to have enough of these colored diamonds to go into those the same slots. So I gave you a call, I think, or I just sent you a message. And your great advice was, well, if you run out, just match it with the next closest color. And it worked.
And that's the good thing about it. It's your piece. You can put whatever color you want to put in.
The other option would have been for me to get down on my hands and knees and try to find those last two, because they were red in color, and I have kind of a red color rug.
That's why when I work on I think in the hospital to call them chucks. I just lay it out, because when it spills, if it spills on a hard surface, they're going to roll everywhere.
Yeah.
But if they spill on a surface that has a little traction to it, you can recover a lot of them. They have the vacuum cleaner. It's like a vacuum cleaner specifically for diamond paintings.
Joanne and I were talking about that. Yeah.
Tells you how long ago it was, but she had lost her diamond ring on a shag carpet. Could not find it. Looked everywhere. What we did was we took a nylon stocking, put it over the end of the vacuum cleaner, kept it loose at the one end where it sucked air in, and then vacuumed, and it found the ring.
There's another thing about diamond painting. Is there's round diamonds and there's square diamonds. Have you done both or just the round?
I haven't tackled the square. The square gives you a nicer look as far as the picture goes, but you have to line them up exactly. The square ones, they have to be lined up exactly, because it shows every little imperfection. For me, that would take the enjoyment out of it. But for some, they love it. They won't do anything but diamond paint.
I watched a couple of videos of someone doing diamond painting with the square. They were talking about that. And your advice, the last show that we did, using a flat, like an ice scraper to line all of those beads up, that was great advice. Hang them up far enough away.
No one knows it.
No one's going to notice. So,
and I think the little imperfections adds to that it was hand done, because they think about how many beads that you were working with. Just for somebody to know that you hand placed all those beads, I mean, they're amazed at it anyway.
Yeah.
This to me seems to be something that people do that need to have a little more control over their hands if they're just starting rehab, as far as the therapy to help get the strength back. They may not have the control over their hand yet to do the diamond painting, to be able to start doing something like this and become extremely frustrated.
Maybe they want to start with the opposite side, because you know how sometimes when you're doing therapy, they ask you to mirror this side with your affected side.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to start with their non-affected side. That'll still give them the sense of accomplishment. Then maybe switch hands, maybe for 1 or 2 diamonds, then use the affected. And then they'll find that by, that switch off and mirroring, they'll find themselves doing more with their hand. Our last taping, I've been trying to use this hand more, because my problem is I don't have a good grip with this hand. But I've been able to last longer doing it with that. Now, it's not as fast as I would like it to be, but at least I know it can be done, and it's helped with me with my writing with this hand and everything. So I would just say maybe start with your unaffected hand at first, and then just switch and do 1 or 2 diamonds. Then you move up to about 10 diamonds, and just keep switching off it like that.
I love that idea. I think that's great. We have an artist in our group. He does all his paintings on his unaffected side. He wanted to start trying different things with his affected side. I'm very blessed and fortunate enough to where I got enough mobility back in my bad hand. Proud, I guess, to say that I do everything with my bad hand,
Right.
whether it's acrylic painting or diamond painting or something like that. If it doesn't turn out all that great, but once in a while, I'll do a good one, and then I'm feeling pretty good.
Just trying something, whether it turns out a beautiful masterpiece or not, it's still a masterpiece because you did it. You
That's
tried.
it. Hang it on the fridge.
There's go that sense of accomplishment again. Having a sense of accomplishment does great for the recovery, because sometimes you get into this rut of thinking, I can't think of all the things that you used to do and that you maybe can't do. Maybe you can do them, just do it in a different way. It may be slower. I mean, you may have to invent new ways to get the same things done. So it's not a matter of I can't, it's just how can I adapt this so I can continue to do things I love to do. Even if you diamond painting, one thing to remember, and I think, Bob, you learned this hard way, which most of us do. When you're diamond painting, sit up, because you have a tendency to slump over.
Yep.
Your back will tell you when you're finished.
Well, do you remember? So after I finished my first one, I messaged you and I said, that's a little tough on the back. You remember what your advice was to me at that point?
Not specifically. I hope it was a good one.
Get a drafting table.
Because a drafting table you can adjust.
I haven't gotten it yet, but it's in my thing to buy list.
Just sit up. You work on your posture. Killing two birds with one stone. You're doing your diamond painting, and then remember to set up. And when you find yourself relaxed and slump, just set back up again.
Yeah.
And so you still getting health benefits because you work on your posture.
And that was why one of the things that I had mentioned was do it 5-10 minutes, get up and walk away for a little bit, rest your eyes, stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that we have to remember with anything that we work on after having a stroke is that saying no pain, no gain is very, very bad for us.
Exactly.
If you are feeling pain, then you definitely have done too much.
Exactly.
You need to pull back.
That's why I think it's so important. I always try to mention, if I can remember it, about the back and doing diamond painting. Because if you're sitting there and not realizing what's going on and you get up and your back is in pain, then you have to learn what to do for it to not be pain. That's very important that people know that when you are diamond painting, because when you're doing something and you enjoy doing what you're doing, time flies. Because for me, I have to set a timer to remind myself to get up, because I've sat down like 4 or 5 hours in a row, not even realizing that time had passed.
Get yourself that circulation going. It's very important. You don't want to give yourself more problems by doing something that you enjoy.
Another thing I do, I don't do it every time, but if I know I'm going to be sitting for a long stint to get a project finished or something, I wear those, they're called running compressions. They're like a sock, but your toes are out.
Yeah.
I wear those too.
Oh, I wear those when I fly.
Exactly. So I find it good for when you're sitting for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I just put them on and, just wear them.
Do you have any suggestions for when your eyes get tired?
For me, I went to my doctor. I told her I was doing real detailed work.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a pair of glasses that I use only for diamond painting. And it's my reading prescription, but it's in the whole glasses. That has helped me a lot. The only other advice is if you don't have specific glasses, maybe if both your eyes are the same in your reading distance, maybe I could suggest some readers, because that magnify. And also you can get the rings with the magnifier on it, that you can set it over top of your diamond painting and then read through the magnifier.
I have one of those.
Those are really good too. But other than that, I think having a light box underneath also that lights up the diamonds, and you turn it on and adjust the lighting to whichever level, put the diamond paint on top of it, and then that makes it easier because all the letters are lit up.
Oh.
And sit in a nice, most comfortable chair you can. If you have the ability, get a drafting table, which I thought was a great idea. I haven't gotten one yet, but I do plan on getting one.
And the good thing about that, you can use use that with your acrylic paintings as well.
Yes, I have a third diamond painting on the way, and hopefully I'll have bought the drafting table or something equivalent to that anyway.
But I'm sure it's gonna make a big difference, especially for those who can't sit straight up. The drafting table would immediately be a big help to them if they can adjust it. But if they can't get a drafting table, maybe build up the table you're working on, bring that up to you so you don't have to slump over like that.
One thing that's worked for me when I'm working on close things, and it's almost too close, is I have a tray with the legs that you can fold under that you use if you're eating in a bed. Now I use it for other things and for working with close-up. It's just high enough that I can really see what I'm working on.
That's a good point. Sit on the floor and used it.
And as soon as you said that, I said, light bulb went on. I do have one. I bought one for my wife so I could serve her breakfast.
That was very nice. Now you know you can use it for your diamond paintings.
Yeah.
But are there any other great ideas that we want to talk about now before we get to the end of the show?
Just as it has so many benefits, health benefits, and the health benefits that it does have, I didn't even realize them until I started diamond painting. And then when I started looking on the computer, I said, you know what? Let me check out and see if I'm really getting what I think I am. And sure enough, those benefits are there. It can improve your social circle. Say, get together with a few friends at the library or something. You can diamond paint. That's help relieve isolation. It helps to unplug. Sometimes you just need to unplug from technology. And when you diamond paint for that 30 minutes or for that 5 hours or whichever, you're not thinking about what's going on around you. So it's a great stress relief and anxiety. It helps me greatly. When I got too much in my mind, I need to sort through things. I get there and diamond paint. So for me, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
When you go to a doctor, the first thing they ask you after you had a stroke, what is it that you like doing? At least my doctor, he asked me, what did I like doing? And I said, I don't know. So he encouraged me to find a hobby. When I found diamond painting, I know I had to do my exercises to keep my fingers and stuff limber. I did. Little did I know when I diamond painted, it was doing that. So if you find something that you love, that's going to work, it works your mind, hand and eye coordination. I mean, it's all around health. So when you find something that you love to do and that it would help you, maybe not do it every day, but keep it as a staple to keep you going.
It's something that I highly recommend. And just in case there's a viewer or two that don't really know the concept of diamond painting, it's much like when we were kids painting, doing paint by numbers. And you'll see on the slides, very similar to paint by numbers. So it's you don't have to decide where to put which peg or which diamond, and it's that's similar to that. Much more challenging probably than paint by numbers, depending on what you're painting, by number.
But for some people, they say that would drive me crazy, all those little pieces. It has a remedy for that too. It builds patience.
Yeah.
It really does. It builds patience. So it's build patience. That means you're more disciplined in what you're doing, because it is something that you have to stick to it to get the reward at the end.
And then I had the two that I did, I had them framed. And they really turned out nice. And I got a lot of oohs and ahs.
Exactly.
They really did turn out beautiful, Bob.
Just say thank you, Bob.
Thank you. Making me blush.
Because I was really impressed when I saw your first one. I mean, everything looked, even from close up, everything looked nice and straight and detailed. Can I credit some of that to you doing your artwork too? Because the detail was there.
Well, I got to give a little credit to my photography skills with my phone. I didn't want to get too close.
Exactly.
Because then you would see the errors or that, so I got far enough back to where they won't see it from here. Click.
That's a good point, Bob.
Yeah.
Because you start seeing diamonds, you see them straying different places. You put one, you adjust one, then you look, there's another, and you can spend hours and get caught up in something that is unnecessary to fix.
Yeah. It's
so
like
that was a good point.
Picking a little fuzzy up on the in the carpeting. Once you start going for one, you can't stop picking up all the others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think that's another great point, is the fact that we are all too hard on ourselves. We expect too much from ourselves. And I think that's one of the biggest sources of frustration, and a lot of times stops us from trying new things or trying to do something that we used to excel at before the stroke. And now because we can't do it at the same level, we don't try at all. If we just let ourselves practice, it's a repetition in everything we do. It's the repetition that helps us to heal.
That's exactly what diamond painting provides is repetition.
Exactly.
It's repetition, and it helped me.
Speaking of repetition, I'm sure, Barbara, we're going to have you back on the show again. And Bob, you're always going to be around.
Lord willing.
You did a great job on this show. Bob's, I've been trying to help him to feel more confident and comfortable doing these shows because he has a lot to share with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of like his debut of doing it. I know if I had mentioned that before we did the show, he probably would have panicked.
Well, you did mention it.
I did?
Yeah, he told me that on the phone yesterday or the day before or something. So yeah, I haven't slept a wink. I was up all night. I can't when I write notes and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. You did tell me, but I got good sleep last night. I slept
good.
Well.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Really did.
And Barbara, you're always such a delight, and you've got so much to share with people. And I thank you for being with.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, and I've really enjoyed it anytime.
Well, we'll be back again next week, I hope. We're starting to get back into a schedule of doing these shows on a weekly basis. And I appreciate everybody's your support and your love over this past year.
Remember, don't count us out. Never.
Remember, with every small victory towards recovery, a sense of hope filters through. Thank you for watching our program, and please subscribe so we can continue to bring you shows like this. We'd also like to ask you to tell your friends about us. And remember, we are not victims, we are survivors.